Okay. Hangout says we're live, but YouTube has to catch up. You know? There we go. YouTube's with us. All right, here we go. Let's get started here. Welcome from behind enemy lines to Rick's Life as I See It. A 1 hour talk show about guns, politics, anything that crosses my mind. I also answer questions from you guys in the chat. Either put them in the chat room or you can email me at rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or at spottedrick@gmail.com. Hey, Roasted A2 Live Moo. Also, within 24 hours of this show ending, the audio file is available on Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes for your listening pleasure. I have t-shirts, mugs, and all that available at spreadshirt.com. Just type in Rick's Life or Spotted Rick, and my stuff should come up. I am also, I know it sounds like begging, but I've also got an Indigo thing going to help towards basically raising money to help me pay for stickers and patches for I can give them away on the show. You know, because those things, putting it bluntly, they ain't cheap. And I don't mind giving them away, but I need to sell some. I think to help me do it, but I need help getting this first batch, basically. So anyway, the link is on on the YouTube. If you look down below where it shows, show more info, whatever, the link's in there. It's on Gun Channel's page too. Also, yes, I am broadcasting both on YouTube and gunchannels.com. So, hey, Michael G. Hey, Patriot. I sent you a link. And, yeah, so I lost my thought there. Hang on. Yeah, but that's what I'm doing. So if anybody's interested in helping me, I mean, I will get the stickers and patches eventually, but it just might take me longer to raise the cash on my own. Basically what I'm saying. So, and of course, there's certain levels that you do that, that will, if you like, give so much money, you get a patch and a sticker for free. That kind of thing. So anyway, that's that. So I'm going to move on. And what else was I going to mention? Oh yeah, I got a Patreon page. If anybody's interested, that's you can see it there in my lower third thing. Patreon.com Rick _ that's what that is called. I found out _ Mitchell. That's the thing. I set all this up before I came up with my name as Rick's Life as I See It. That was an afterthought after I set everything up. And I do have an Instagram and a Twitter account. And I think they're under Ram 11397, if I'm correct. Now you might ask, why Ram 11397? Well, that goes back a ways. I mean, Ram is my initials to start with. And as everybody already knows, if you haven't, you're going to find out, 11/3/97 is my sobriety date. That was the day I got sober. So what was that? Almost 20 years ago? 20 years ago? Yeah, 20 years ago. This will be 21 this November, I think. So gun loving grandpa, good to see ya. Anyway, there we go. So moving on in my panel so far, Squib is showing up. So you got anything to say, Squib?
Thanks for the invite, and for all you people who didn't come in tonight, you really put me under a lot of pressure, and thanks.
Yeah. So I know they're out there, but that's okay. Let me do my thing here. Let me, go for the wild. There you go. Now I don't know whether it works on. As I said, I don't know whether it really works on YouTube or not. But I'll put the link in gun channels and YouTube if anybody wants to join the panel, because I'm that kind of guy. So, anyway, first thing on my thing here, just want to say, was I here last Wednesday? I think I was. But anyway, I got the okay to drive, so I was out driving today. I'm still having to use a walker because my balance is not 100% yet. But I reckon within the next week and a half, I think I'll be out at the range. Even though I'm using a cane, I might not even have to use the scooter, which is sounds even promising. But I'm still going to need the scooter because I think it's not. I mean, not so much for the range, but for personal stuff like shopping at Walmart. I think that's a humongous store to try to walk around, and I don't know if my hips. It's going to take a while for my hip to actually, be 100%. Anyway, what I want to talk about on my little list here, I don't have much, but I hope to be. I going back to the other thing, since this is about disabilities, with this new hip and stuff. I tell you, medical insurance sucks. It really does. They're nothing but blood sucking leeches. Is the way I feel about it. Okay, I spent my 3 days in the hospital, had my, physical therapy when I was there. My insurance covered in-house physical therapy since when I came home and all this kind of good stuff. They signed me off and said, "Oh, you can go to outpatients now." Well, I said, "Okay, no problem." I go to outpatients today. I'm there for a while and they set me all up. They said, "Oh yeah, you need 4 weeks, 3 times a week. That's what that's what the doctor recommends and stuff." I said, "Okay, no problem." Then they go, "Oh, but your insurance." Now everything else would be, covered under my insurance, but now it's outpatient. It's They said, "Oh, your copay is $40 a visit." I said, $40 a visit 3 times a week, for 4 weeks. I said, "Are you insane?" So I might be doing my own physical therapy at home. I figured I'll look it up on YouTube, see how to do it. Anyway, she did a bunch of stuff with me today. So I remembered what she told me. I could do that at home. It wasn't that difficult. All I did was lay there and lift my leg up, bend my knee, stand on my thigh, on my one leg, all this kind of good stuff. I could do that at home. So anyway, hey, Rich White. So I just wanted to say, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I miss about. Now, I must admit, it's been over 20 years since I lived in England, but I wouldn't have this problem at home under their health system. It's all covered, you know? So it's, even after these 20 odd years I've been here and I've been paying, medical insurance, I still don't like it. I'm thinking, I pay all this money I know it's been different companies, but I've been paying, for years and years and years, I paid into it and I wasn't sick in a day of my life. Where's all that goddamn money gone that I paid into it? You know? Anyway, don't get me off. I'll go on a tangent on that one. So this is meant to be about children with disabilities and guns and politics and all that stuff. So anyway, moving on. Good news. Good news this week with the court case. I know it's the Ninth Circuit or the Ninth Circus, if whatever you wish to call it. But they said that, I think it was mainly for Hawaii, that not carry. Anyway, it was unconstitutional for not to allow them to carry a weapon because it falls under the Second Amendment. You know, so really, basically, that covers. I mean, a lot of stuff's going to start falling down. All these anti-gun bills because of that. But that was only the 3-judge panel. Don't they have that? And I think it's going to go to the 9-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit. So they could overturn it. They seem to have their own version of the Constitution there in California. Hey, Midnight, good to see you. I don't know. Did you read about that, Squib?
About the whole Ninth Circuit thing with Hawaii?
Yeah, and being able to carry and all that now.
I think that if they decide not to fight it, I think they're going to say, fine, you can open carry here, and then they're going to come up with all kinds of BS restrictions and rules about open carrying and go, well, we allowed them to open carry, but they'll have something. I just can't believe they're going to roll over and go, fine, we'll let you open carry like a free state like Michigan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also, because I think what it came down to was even though they have concealed carry in Hawaii, they haven't issued a permit since 2013 because they have that just cause rule, So, oh man, that's Two Live Moose said just had a local gun shop lost to fire today. Total loss. What was that? How you pronounce that? Grassmeyer Brothers, Twin Lake, Michigan. Nice. That's sad. That's sad. Well, hopefully their insurance was enough to cover it and they maybe rebuild and get back into business. But more than likely they will, the town will come up with new restrictions that make it harder to rebuild.
Not here. Not here.
Oh, not here?
All these people complain about, oh, we got no gun stores in our state. This state is very gun friendly. We've got so many dang gun stores, gun shows, gun owners, gun ranges, gun clubs, blah, 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 blah. And whenever I hear somebody, they're belly aching about their state, it's like, well, then move here. I know it's cold, and you might have to pay more for car insurance, and you might have to get a crappy factory job like everybody else. And I'm not even saying I don't even want to stay here because it's so dang cold. And other people that live here go, it's not that cold. It kind of really isn't. But the whole thing is, it's like, look, there are lots of free states out there. I can walk right down the street in broad daylight with an AK-47 with a 30 or 40 round magazine and a bayonet on it slung over my shoulder, whistling a tune, and the worst that's going to happen to me is I'm going to have the cops stop me and want to check my ID and make sure that the gun isn't stolen and kind of say, look, people are calling because they're scared. Would you mind putting that away? Or what are you trying to do here? Or are you just one of these people trying to make a scene or blah, blah, blah? As long as you don't get belligerent with them, usually you're fine. And if not, then there's a lawsuit because you can do that. Now, you don't see people doing that normally, but it's nice to have that sort of freedom. And I mean, there are gun shops all over the place. Yes, I do have to drive 90 minutes to 2.5 hours to get a decent selection of reload supplies. But once I get there, it's like a grocery store. But as far as regular gun stores or gun ranges, there's tons of it. I'm not saying that one of them burning down is a good thing. It isn't. But if they want to rebuild, it's probably not going to be a big deal. And if they decide that they want to rezone and say you can't build here, all they got to do is just go over one township. So there's nothing to it.
Yeah. Hey, David, glad you could join us.
Hey, Rick, glad to be here. Thanks you, sir, for the invite.
No problem. Talking about like being up here behind enemy lines. I said, out of all the sort of like tough New England states, I know we have 3 here that are constitutional carry, but the other ones like Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, and New York, who are tough on it. But now, this is what I was told. I don't know if it's true or not, but just down the street from me now, they say it's the largest one in the United States we have 150-yard indoor rifle range. 4 lanes or 4,
Excellent.
150 yards. Yeah,
That's awesome.
that is, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. That's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. So, but it's built on an old golf course that because the golf course used to belong to Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut, but it's in Rhode Island. The golf course was. So they built their own golf course over there in Connecticut. Then they sold the golf course off. Some developer bought it, made a bunch of houses, but a lot of the land was still there, and this other people bought it and they built a gun club out there. But I mean, I don't know how much it's going to cost to use this range, but I do know that it's for the high end shooter. I mean, they got shotguns there for $4,000 or $5,000 each, type thing on display. You know, not
Yeah.
not the Maverick 88s like I like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like Shooter's World, just
Yeah, that
north
place
of
is nice. That place is nice.
Shooter's World.
Yeah, I want to go to the one in Phoenix next.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a 5-star shooting club, and $5,000 I think is where the shotguns start. They actually have in ours over here in Tampa a room with probably $7,000 French doors on just the room going into the shotgun room. And when you go in there, you start looking around, you're like, they custom fit, they have guns that they measure and they order for you. And some of these guns are $100,000 to $150,000 with all the 24 karat gold inlaying and the artist that does the work. And they're from like Italy and all these other countries where they do like really specialized high-end shotguns.
Yeah,
And I mean, I've never held anything but a Mossberg or a Remington. So I was like it was like, going to a dealership that sells Lamborghinis. You're almost kind of scared to even like get in the car. What if your like wallet tears the seat or something? I'm not going to
yeah.
have enough money to fix it. I'm like,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
if you're on the west side of Florida, if you're going out to the beach there in the Tampa area, or you're going to Disneyland or Disney World. Disneyland's in California. Disney World. If you can make the time, I recommend just stopping by. They've got a lot of firearms on display behind glass cases that there's no touchy, and don't ask. There's even a sign on some of them. Don't ask if you can buy this. And they've got a lot of stuff for sale. The only thing I didn't really see, they had one small little shelf with reloading stuff on there, and it was hardly anything. But with the exception of reloading, they got an indoor range. They got all kinds of neat stuff there. And there's a sister store in Phoenix, Arizona, but I have not gone to that one yet.
Yeah.
yeah, they have an indoor 100-yard range at the Shooter's World in Tampa, and it has a camera, so you don't have to actually wheel your target all the way back. You can just, look at the screen and see the footage, which makes it really easy for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This new range, it has electronic targets and all that kind of good stuff. You know, so it's all that. But like you said, it's got guns there. And it's got some there, as you said. If you have to ask how much they are, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, Night Strike, good to see you.
Hey, sorry I'm late, Rick. I just got the email.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem. I'm just glad you're here. So, don't. I hope Midnight's not in here still. Rich is talking food. Hey,
Uh-oh.
Vanessa. So, Anyway, first we talked about the Ninth Circuit and the open carry, and hopefully, if that's not contested by the full Ninth Circuit, it could work in our favor for the rest of the country.
Oh, are you talking about what we talked about last night on Hit or Miss, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock?
Oh, did you talk about it?
Oh yeah, we not only did we talk about the open carry Ninth Circuit decision, but we also talked about the magazine ban injunction Ninth Circuit decision as well.
I was going to talk about that too.
We talked about that last night. If you had shown up, Rick, you would have. We had a great conversation last night. I'm really sad that you missed it, Rick.
I'm really sad that I missed it too. I actually fell asleep in the recliner, to be honest with you.
So what I want to know is, will the decision in California about the magazines affect New Jersey? Can they use that as leverage to go, hey, look, if California's got to retract or reinvestigate or reword or whatever they've got to do with this unjust law as far as not grandfathering them in or not offering to buy them back or whatever the heck, that they really needed to do if they wanted to pass this air quotes ban. Well, New Jersey did the same damn thing. So do they have a chance?
I don't know, because really all that was they upheld something that came down from another court. That it's still, you cannot do it right now.
Basically, as long as the California government decides to just cut their losses and not try and go to the 9-court panel of courts, which if they do and if they lose, not that they would, because you know how the Ninth Circuit is, or Ninth Circus, really, you know how they are. But if they go higher up and they appeal it, they could get their way. But again, if they don't and they just cut their losses, then it may be precedent for another state or for someone in another state to go and sue the state, on the same basis.
Yeah, I mean, as Rich said, what he said, all federal decisions affect the entire country, even though it's done by a state.
The Ninth Circuit is federal. That's
right. So whatever, like this decision on the open carry, even though it's to do with Hawaii, if it's not overturned by the full Ninth Circuit, it's good to go for the whole country.
Right.
But as I was saying earlier, more than likely when the full, was it 9 members of the Ninth Circuit? Is that how many there is?
Oh, they're all liberal.
Yeah. I mean, they have their own constitution they follow. They don't have the real one. They have their own.
No, they don't. They don't have a constitution they follow. They follow things by feelings and emotions, and by what they think, instead of actually, being an actual justice and actually making decisions based upon the letter of the law.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Think of that.
Yeah. Hopefully, the new Supreme Court justice pick will be, what's the word for it? Sworn in before this stuff gets to the Supreme Court itself, if it goes that far, because
I'm really hoping he does.
Because right now it'd be a 4-4 split, the way it sits, and having him there, because there's a lot more to it, but basically, four judges have got to say, yeah, we're going to look at it. Then it goes on from there. But they don't even get 4 judges to say, let's have a look at it. The case doesn't even get picked up.
Right. Hopefully, he'll get in, and it may help. Nothing may happen. Let's be honest. Nothing can change. It could just be like this until another justice either dies or gets sworn in.
Yeah, you're right. But the one thing I like about that, the magazine ban, or what you call it, was the actual part where the Justice Department had actually put it in writing that the AR-15 or semi-automatics are not military weapons. You know?
No, see, that was a different decision. Okay. The Justice Department has stated in another decision, a settlement with about the 3D printed stuff, that AR-15s and other like rifles are not inherently military.
That's right. That was under the
3D printing law.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
The
Oh,
3D printing decision.
that's right. My mistake. I apologize.
But because they got the State Department Department of Justice to actually put that in writing, that also can be used as precedence in case another city, state decides to say, "Oh, we're going to do an assault weapons ban." They can't do that now because the federal government says they're not inherently military, so, i.e., they're not military weapons or assault-style weapons.
So hopefully a lot of these assault weapon bans, like in Massachusetts and stuff like that in Connecticut,
Could get thrown out.
Get thrown out.
But with the whole situation on the decisions in the courts, I'm not. It's nice. It's refreshing to see that the Ninth Circuit isn't entirely lost, even though it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, what's that Patriot saying? That's actually not a good thing since we can't have sawing off shotguns because they're not military.
One step at a time, Patriot.
Yeah, one step at a time. That's the way I'm looking at it. So, yeah, Vanessa, I mean, some of those bans you got there in Connecticut really should be taken down, but you know how that goes. Yeah. Anyway, I do apologize for bringing that up like I did. Is that I forgot to both things I got written down here. One runs right into the other. I didn't separate them, so that's what I was just reading the next line on my paragraph I had here. Anyway,
I'm sorry for going off on a tangent, Rick.
That's all right, no problem. Hey, you read that Missouri senator candidate is raffling off a Ghost Gunner 2 machine in the state of Missouri.
I wish I lived in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, it's worth $1,700, but you can buy one
for $16.
No, you can buy one for $1,700 to that company. A $250 deposit is all you need. They make them to order. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't have $1,700. Otherwise, I would buy one just because. Yes, it's not a great CNC mill. I'll give you that. But again, you can use it for more than just AR-15 lower making and 1911 receiver making.
Oh yeah, I see. Chuck Schumer is all up in a roar over it.
Yeah, but if I that's how I look at it. The Ghost Gunner. Well, yeah, it's a novel idea. Yes, it is a CNC mill. Yes, you use a computer to go and do things to make receivers out of it if you want. But if you do it right, if you configure it right, you can do much more with it. You can make specialized parts for your AR-15 or any handgun you have. It's just how you use the device. Okay, it's not that the device can only do this or this. No, it could probably do much more if you actually applied yourself and worked with the machine.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So say if you had this old rifle and you needed a specialized part that they don't make anymore. If you had one of those machines, you could just use whatever 3D program they're using to probably CAD to lay it out. And then you could take like a piece of stainless steel or whatnot, or just a piece of regular steel, mill out that part, and there you go. You can bring that rifle or that gun back to working order.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I'm not against the ghost gun. I know some people are because they think it's just a novelty, and it can be used as a novelty, but it can also be used to do much more.
Yeah. But my question is, right, I understand it, and it's a great idea. But when you think about it, what is stopping a felon from getting one and making a gun?
Because it's too much work, honestly. It's too easy to get a stolen gun.
Plus, there'd be a paper trail, and felons don't like paper trails.
Why would there be a paper trail?
Well, you have to sign up on the website. You have to give your credentials. You know, you have to use a credit card in order to buy it.
Yeah.
Look, Rick, this is the deal. This is why we get so ticked off as law-abiding citizens about these goofy laws. They restrict us, but they don't stop the criminals. And in the same sense, you don't need this stupid machine. You could literally go into any automotive factory in Southeast Michigan and slip the machinist there some money to make you the same thing with all the mills and lathes and all the other equipment they've got in there for fabricating stuff for the factory and fabricating parts or whatever you need, guards for the machine, railing, whatever it is. That sort of thing you can do. And then there are heat treat plants all over, unless you wanted to try to heat treat in home or whatever it is. I mean, and I know this isn't the only place in the country that have got factories where they've got machinists and mills and infrastructure and stuff like that. It wouldn't be a whole lot of a big deal to make these things if you wanted to. The problem is it's the hassle. It's the finding somebody that'll do it, and then the wait, and then all the things you're going to have to do to make sure that this thing doesn't fly apart. If you use it one time, it doesn't blow up in your face. Well, wait a minute. I could just go down to this guy on the corner who steals guns and get one in 5 minutes for next to nothing. Well, let me think. Let me think for a minute. You know what I mean? The criminal has had access to homemade firearms as long as we've been able to make machine parts. It's just not, it's not practical, it's not feasible.
Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying there. So, anyway, David, what's your take on the 3D printer thing?
Well, I think they're absolutely amazing. I think they're pretty cool. As far as people printing up their own firearms, I think that we're not quite there yet as far as the ability to do that. And I think that, like what Squib was saying, right now in the UK, where you lived a great deal of your life as an adult, they've got an issue with machine shops, local small garage sheet machine shops, like almost cottage industry,
Yeah,
turning out basically clones of Mac 10s and Mac 11s, open bolt, fully automatic submachine gun pistol type deals. And the bobbies and the police there, Scotland Yard, has had a big surge in people moving machine guns, and it's not the criminals that seem to be wanting these type of things. It seems to be the law-abiding citizens that are worried about nothing, no way to protect themselves against this scourge, you know, of people moving into their country.
And remember, in England, you're not allowed to defend yourself. You know this, Rick. If you defend yourself, by in your own house because you've been attacked by a home invader, if you defend yourself and either hurt them or even kill them, you go to jail for it.
Yeah. Hey, that's even happened in Connecticut.
Yeah.
The guy went to jail
For defending his life.
But he done something, and he was the one, they put him in jail. I think it was 18 months. So there we go. It sucks.
That's why I've said in the past, if something ever happened where they really did come door to door and confiscate everything, and they're going through every list that they've got, on every database they've got to try to account for every single one of them that they've got any record on. And they felt confident that they had collected most of or all of the firearms. If people just rolled over and said, screw it, you have them, whatever. You know what would happen next? There would be full auto military weapons coming into this country with the drug shipments that come into this country. And the same people that gave up their AR-15s or their AK, their semi-auto AKs, or their pump action shotguns or whatever it was, they're all going to have full auto M4s. They're going to have M60 machine guns. They're going to have full auto AKs. They're going to have RPKs. They're going to have all of these military style weapons that the government really, really doesn't want us to have. The general public really, really doesn't want people to have, and that sort of thing. And it's all going to be illegal because that's what's going to end up happening. So if they think that by taking the semi-autos or taking everything away, they're going to disarm the public, you're not only going to have a bunch of weapons in this country that you never wanted. Now you really don't know who has them. And yes, people will turn themselves into criminals overnight. But it's one thing about our country, the people that live here. We cherish our freedom more so than any other citizen of any other country on this planet. And there will be people that don't have any evil in their heart, have never committed a crime except maybe a speeding ticket or something like that, who don't have any ill intent, but they want to get a firearm. They want a weapon. They had a weapon before. They feel like they got cheated. Now they're going to get one that is, how should I say, undocumented, right? And it's going to be that military weapon, not even military style. It's going to be an actual military weapon.
Yeah, Squib, I don't disagree with you, but I think you're really underplaying the fact. If the government does succeed in just taking away the Second Amendment, I don't believe for a second that an insurrection or a civil war or something isn't going to happen. That's like saying, oh, everybody in America will just turn the other cheek like the Amish. I'm sorry, that won't happen.
Right. Oh, real quick, Vanessa asked me, Connecticut Joe, for what? Because he stood his ground and he didn't retreat. Connecticut law says you must retreat. If you're in your home, the only other place you have to go, how do you retreat from your home? I don't know where he was. I can't remember the full story now, but they said he didn't retreat. So that's why he's spending 18 months in jail. You know, I mean, it sucks. It really does. But back to the other thing where David was talking about, like in England, you know, Britex, where they want to get out of the European Union. And one of the reasons they want to get out is...
You mean Brexit?
Yeah, sorry.
The UK Independence Party.
Yeah, is for they can get their gun rights. Not all of them, but the gun rights back to like it was before they were taken away from them. Because right now they fall under European law, and it's the European law that stripped them right down to what they are now.
Well, you know, even though the European Union's law is doing that, you know, Poland and the Czech Republic are saying, yeah, you can try and enforce that, but we're not enforcing that in our countries.
Yeah. Unfortunately, England enforced it. You know what I'm saying?
And you know how Switzerland is. You know, Switzerland's like, you can try and enforce that. We're not enforcing it. Switzerland's not enforcing it either. So
yeah, but you got to remember, Switzerland is not in the European Union.
No, they're just affiliated. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because you know Switzerland and the whole neutrality thing. You know.
Oh yeah. So anyway, just want to mention that. After me here at 8 o'clock, you have Clover. I don't know if he has a shooting guest on tonight or not. I think he was planning to.
Squid, you're not mad at me, are you?
The what?
I don't know if Squib is mad at me for cutting him off earlier.
Yeah, Squib's all right. You know, he's more like doing the research to see if you're wrong or right.
What am I supposed to be mad about this time? Dang, every time you tell me I'm supposed to be mad about something, I got to go figure out what it is.
Well, when I kind of cut you off there by saying, you know, I don't believe that it'll just stop at the whole full automatic thing.
Oh, I didn't think you had this, dude. You have a right to your opinion. I'm not mad. I don't even why would I even get mad over that?
All right.
I gotta yell because I'm in a factory. We went over that last night, right?
Okay. Fair point. Fair point.
I'm making cars that nobody wants to buy, apparently. So why are we making so many damn parts?
Squib, I thought you were in a factory or a titty bar, one or the other. Because they're loud neither.
Nah, I'm old and married. If I'm going to throw money away, I'll do it at the casino, not at the bar.
Yeah, but you get the free food. Yeah, I just went and act like I'm getting the show, buy my one drink, and get like a steak dinner for like $5.
I never gone to any one of those where I got any free food. I'm going to the wrong one.
So am I.
Wait, I went to. I went to. Yeah, that's it. I went to.
Hey, I'm not married, so it doesn't. It's not gonna go after me. So.
Yeah. But anyway, back to my list. We have Clover Tech next, and after him is
Never
Enough Ammo, and after that, I believe it's. I'll have to look at the list now. I don't remember, but I know there's a full house all the way to midnight. So
is Yankee on afterwards?
No, he's told me not on Wednesday.
He's on Thursday.
Okay. I'm trying to remember who it is.
It's not listed right now. Let me check the schedule.
Let me have a look, see if I can find it. Where's the schedule?
Scheduled Wednesday, right? Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. It's just you, Rick. It's Clover Tech, and then it's Never Enough Ammo, and then it'll wind up and end in the evening with the Daily Gun Show at midnight.
What about Eyewitness Fake News?
That's not tonight.
Well, it's listed as tonight.
I'm looking at Wednesday. No, it's not.
I'm looking at Wednesday too.
What month?
You know, I've gone down to the bottom of the page.
I'm looking at gunchannels.com/live.
Well, I'm telling you, it's on there. Got me, The Next Generation, Never Enough Ammo, Eyewitness Fake News, and Daily Gun Show. But, hey, that's okay. You can be right. I'll be happy.
Well, that's Joe's one. I don't know if he's back from his vacation yet.
Yeah. So, Patriot says, strippers are no good. That was my first ex.
Ooh. There's a story there.
Anyway, okay, so that's what's happening tonight on here. Let's see, what else have I got? Oh, did you read that thing where that 18-year-old senior sued his school?
I did not see that.
And they came to a settlement. Because he wore a Trump Wall Construction Company T-shirt to school, and they told him to cover it up, and he said no, and they suspended him because they were having a politics day, and they were talking about immigration, and he wouldn't cover it up, so they suspended him for the day. So he took him to court. He sued him. They got a settlement. He gets $25,000. He said that will just cover his lawyer fees. Plus, he gets a written apology from the head of the education board to say that they were sorry that they did that. But the reason they did it, this is their claim, is they believe in free speech, and every student has a right to do that. But also, every student has a right to feel safe. And both things happened simultaneously, and they erred on the side of student safety.
Well, if you want to feel safe, I feel a hell of a lot safer with Trump in office. Just saying.
Yeah, I feel safer with Trump in office than the alternative that we had. Yes.
There you go. Say, Rick is right. Night Strike, he never goes to gun channels anymore.
What do you mean I don't go to gun channels anymore?
Yeah. I'm just reading the chat here.
Hey, listen. I was at gunchannels.com/live where all the shows are listed. Now, if there's a show that's not listed there, somebody needs to, whoever is hosting that show needs to get with the admins and and ask for their show to be put up there, because if it's not on the list, it's not on the list.
Well, I went on the front page, where like Mr. Knives puts his show in the morning. I put my show that I'm coming on tonight. You go right to the bottom of that first page there, and that's where they're all listed.
I see that now, but if you look at the top of the page where it says live show schedule, I was looking at that page.
So somebody screwed up, huh?
Yeah, somebody screwed up, not me.
So
So we'll have to work on that.
Oh yeah, we do. Anyway, that's what there. Then the last thing on my list here that I got. Did you read? We're talking about good old California again.
Uh-oh.
That I think is it in San Francisco? They are voting, or they want to allow illegals to vote in the school district votes.
No.
Then
because
see the game plan behind that is if they do pass that and let them vote.
Then they say, what's the problem with allowing illegal aliens to vote in the presidential elections or the Senate elections or the state elections? Yes, I know. It's a caveat. The answer is no, Rick, because I'm going to give the Democrats this. They need to explain to me the difference between Russia meddling in the elections and them allowing immigrants to vote, illegal immigrants to vote. Okay? What's the fucking difference? Because
they're not Russian.
He's got a point. I mean, he really does have a point.
Oh, he does. He does. I'm not arguing with it. I agree with him. But,
is it just because that the illegal aliens in Russia are Russian, and because it's a government that does it instead of a single individual person? I mean, what the hell?
Oh, I know. But you said it, the ultimate goal is for the Democrats to get more voters. Because the way it stands right now, that's the only way they're going to win the next election. Because right now they're getting it. From what I can see, they're getting themselves deeper and deeper in the hole. I personally say that this is my prediction. I think we're going to get more seats in the House and the Senate in the midterms. Personally.
I really hope that the election goes well this time around. I hope we actually get somewhere instead of having like kind of, but not really a majority and nothing happening. I'd like to see the Senate actually do a day's worth of work this next year instead of absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Oh, Watchco says here, the reason is the common talking point. They live and work and go to schools locally. I understand. But personally, maybe you can call me a bigot, a racist, or a white supremacist or whatever. They're in here illegally. Round their asses up and ship them back. Do it the right way. Go through the proper channels, for Christ's sakes. I don't think that's asking too much. If you want America to be like Europe, keep going the way you're going. Okay. I wonder how many of my few subscribers I have I've just lost.
Hey man, I've gained 100 subscribers at one point, and I've lost 100 at one point. So because of shit I've said, so Rick, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some.
Yeah. I admit, I am conservative. I am Republican. You know what I'm saying?
My family has always been conservative Republican. But within the last couple of years, I have shifted over from being just, conservative Republican to being more like a Goldwater Republican or a libertarian Republican.
Yeah.
Because the fact is, I see that right now there are laws that need to be enforced. And the problem is the justices in our courts aren't enforcing the laws. They're making decisions based not on the law, but based on how they feel it should be.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So, and that's not how you run a country. You run a country like that, you get a socialist society, you get a socialist country. Look how socialist countries worked out in Europe. Look how Russia turned out with the Soviet Union and going from socialist to full-on communist. Yeah, it worked great, didn't it? That's why people were lined up in the streets in one single line for a loaf of fucking bread.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, we're almost out of time. Man, doesn't time fly when you're having fun? You know?
Or Night Strike ranting.
Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, we got a few minutes left, so let me go through the panel here. You got anything to say, David?
Just wanted to let everyone know about our show. This Thursday is not going to be happening. Dead Horse is going to be out of town. And just wanted to let everyone know that. And basically, thank you very much for having me on. And I need to talk to you after the show about some reloading.
Okay. All right. So
my blind ass is doing it.
All right. Squib. Talk to me, Squib. Has he gone off on us?
He may not hear us if he's near a machine.
I know he's working, so he might be doing something at work. You got anything to say, Night Strike?
Shut up, you infringed!
That's good.
And check out Hit or Miss Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. And if you haven't signed up and uploaded videos, go to guntube.org and do that. Remember, that's guntube.org.
Okay, there we go. Also, guys, don't forget my Indiegogo page. The links are below you there on YouTube, where it says more info, and also on Gun Channels. It's listed on that page too. So, any help you can give me, I really would appreciate it. Unfortunately, I put this, I dropped an update in there today. Unfortunately, the minimum it says you can do one for is $500. Per se, I'm not really asking for $500, but that's the minimum. But the minimum they will pay out is $100. If I don't reach $100, the people who have backed me so far, their money will be refunded.
Is the link in your description?
The link's in my description. On Gun Channels and on YouTube.
So, guys, if you haven't done so already, go and help Rick with this Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah,
he's trying to get Spotted Rick patches. And what else are you trying to get out of this?
Stickers and patches. Mainly is to give away, how I do a quiz every week on my Saturday show. It's basically to give them away as prizes, and I'm going to sell some. But also on Indiegogo, I can't remember. I think it's $15. You get a patch for free anyway, or something like that. Or was it $10? I can't remember the things I did, but the more money you put in, the more free stuff you get.
Yeah. So if you can, go and give Rick, $5 or $10 if you can.
Yeah.
For the Indiegogo campaign.
Sounds like I'm begging.
You're going to get something out of it, so just go and do that. All right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm begging, but I don't want to beg. I mean, if I don't get it, then I'll get them myself, but it'd take me longer to do it, to raise the cash, basically. So there we go. Anyway, that's enough out of that. I ain't going to say no more. I want to say thank you all for being here. I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern to do this all again and talk about something else. Might rehash some of the stuff we already talked about tonight. So I appreciate you all being here, and I will talk to you all later. I know I'm quitting 5 minutes early, but I want you all to get over to Clover because he has a special shooting guest on there tonight, like he did last week. So, all right, I'm going to let you all go. Have a good one.
Shut up, infringed.